Hello everyone, here's what's coming up tonight on NewsCenter Now. A car chase through Penobscot County after officials say the suspect took off in a stolen cruiser.
I'd say mission accomplished.
It's spread fake news for years, but now the Maine Police and Fire Alert's Facebook page is suddenly shut down. And police say she sent her soulmate 65,000 text messages, threatened to bathe in his blood, and hid in his bathtub. It's a stalking case that's captured the attention of the entire country. Today she speaks from her jail cell. This is NewsCenter Now. Ends in a serious car wreck with the wanted man rushed to the hospital. Hello everyone, I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Chris Costa in for Lee Goldberg. Neighbors say Tyler Tibbetts was arrested in Dexter this morning, but then he was a wanted man accused of stealing a Dexter police cruiser while still in handcuffs. At that point, he was considered armed and dangerous. Soon after, that cruiser was found abandoned in Garland, but Tibbetts was not there. Police caught his trail once again behind the wheel of another car. The chase barreled through a number of towns before Tibbetts crashed into trees in Dover-Foxcroft.
He was pinned inside the wreck and a Life Flight helicopter flew him to the hospital. A public safety information officer says no officers were injured in the chase. And we will have much more on this story coming up on NewsCenter Maine at 5:30. Animals being put down at an alarming rate. That's the claim on Facebook being shared across the state. The post is from a former employee of the Greater Androscoggin Humane Society who was recently fired from the shelter.
The Humane Society says her claims about the euthanasia rate are not true. Now there's a battle on social media before claims from either side can be verified. This Facebook post from Amanda Kimball is in the news feeds of people all over Maine. The post got thousands of shares and reactions on social media. She claims in the 6 weeks since the former manager left, the number of animals euthanized has doubled. The post even sparked other animal advocacy organizations to respond.
We're actually feeling really distraught over here at what is happening at some of the shelters in Maine.
But Kimball's claims have not been verified, either by the shelter or the Maine Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry, which oversees animal welfare. The Humane Society posted its own response, saying euthanizations did not double, they actually decreased in that 6-week time period. Amanda Kimball writes that the Greater Androscoggin Humane Society fired her earlier this week, but does not say why. We tried to speak to both Kimball and the management at the Humane Society, but neither one returned our messages. Now, a lot of you have seen this story on social media, so we looked into what requirements shelters have to follow when it comes to euthanizations. Shelters are required to report a number of statistics on animals that come and go from their facilities, including euthanizations. They report those statistics each year to the DACF, so the department says there's no way to immediately confirm if the numbers Kimball or the Humane Society claim about that 6-week period of time this year are true. In 2017, however, the Greater Androscoggin Humane Society put down a total of 31 dogs and 21 cats. The Humane Society wrote in its Facebook post, "Our new operations manager is following the board-approved policies GAHS had in effect prior to his appointment. These policies have been in place for years. Euthanasia is a last resort."
Well, a lot of you had questions today on Facebook because you thought Maine only had no-kill shelters. We do, but it may not mean what you think. In fact, there really is no clear definition of a no-kill shelter.
In fact, the ASPCA says it doesn't typically use that phrase because it has no standard definition. Some animal organizations refer to no-kill shelters as having at least a 90% save rate. Others say they are shelters that do not kill animals simply due to space reasons.
All right, let's switch gears now. Farmers and growers north of Augusta need to be prepared tonight.
Keith, it sounds like there's a frost advisory posted right now. How does the wind play into this?
Well, you know, interestingly, the wind was a problem today, but it will settle a bit tonight, and that allows temperatures to drop down. So our fire warning in effect until 8 o'clock, winds still gusting 25 to 30 miles an hour. But once those settle, that's when the heat from the daytime really radiates into the atmosphere. Current temperature is mild. Hard to believe that we do have a frost advisory. Temperatures in the low 60s along the coastline, 50s inland, 40s in the mountains. But you take a look at this visible satellite and the conditions that you need for a quick cold snap, if you will, or clear skies, light winds, and we're going to have both of those by later on tonight. Here's our frost advisory along the coastline, down East Maine, mid-coastal Maine, and then away from the coast over southern Maine. So a good part of the state. It's worth noting the mountains are not included, not because they'll be any warmer, but because their growing season has not officially begun there. So they don't issue these advisories until that's the case. That's why it's from Bangor to Augusta and into down East Maine. Basically what this means for most of us is if you have plants that you can take in, tonight's a good night to do it. But guys, this is big news for example, strawberry farmers, because they have to try to cover all their crops tonight to avoid killing them. All
right, Keith, good info. Today we honor the men and women who support our service members. President Trump declared today Military Spouse Appreciation Day. The American Legion says they are the ones who keep home feeling like home for the rest of the family, while their significant others keep our nation safe. The Maine National Guard shared this photo, saying today and every day we are thankful to all the military spouses who continue to support the uniform. If you know a military spouse who deserves some thanks, give them a shout out right now on our Facebook live stream.
And military spouses have an unemployment rate of about 4 times higher than the general population, and this week President Trump vowed to fix that.
And in just a moment I will take executive action to promote military spouse hiring across the federal government, something that people have wanted presidents to do for a long time.
Which is this Sunday.
Military mothers and spouses gathered at the White House to meet with First Lady Melania and President Trump. An executive order will promote federal hiring of military spouses and remove licensing barriers across states, so spouses with certifications in teaching, nursing, and other professional careers can easily get a new job when they move from place to place.
Mass transit making moves to go modern.
Greater Portland Metro has really seen a boost.
An effort to keep up with competition from ride-sharing services and keep Mainers from buying gas-guzzling cars.
And she says he's her soulmate, but he had her arrested for stalking and terrorizing. The crazy case that has so many of you talking later on Now.
We are just about a week away from the royal wedding, and important questions remain. Who will perform the first song? What color will the queen wear? Believe it or not, you can win thousands of dollars if you make the right guess. Betting on the royal wedding is a serious matter in the UK, according to a prominent British bookmaker. Right now, experts think the queen will wear yellow if the weather's nice. Elton John is a crowd favorite for the first song, but it's more likely Sir John will be a guest, while Ed Sheeran or Coldplay perhaps will perform at the reception.
So royal wedding as a whole, I think outside of the UK, people would assume that it's just a bit of a joke, £5 here, £5 there. It's actually really genuinely quite big business. So for Will and Kate's first wedding, you know, we took something around £50,000–60,000, but the royal baby, the name of the third royal baby, William Hill alone took £250,000. So, you know, it's serious business. You take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bets on a daily basis.
And the wedding is May 19th, so there's still plenty of time to place a bet there. I love all things royal, but I don't know what kind of guess I would put out there.
If my track record with March Madness or anything else at this point is any indication, I will not be betting on the royal wedding.
All right. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, charge your phone, check your email, the things we want to do when we catch a ride. How we get from point A to point B is changing as ride-sharing services increase in popularity.
Now, in an effort to wean consumers off of car ownership, Lyft is now offering a ride subscription service. This week, the company started sending out invitations to select passengers to join a wait list for what it's calling all-access plans. Individuals who sign up for subscriptions will pay $200 up front and receive $15 off 30 rides. So that means any ride that's $15 or less is free, and for anything over $15, you pay the difference.
Rideshare apps aren't the only ones trying to make the commutes faster, easier, and more energy efficient. Maine's public transit is stepping up its game too. Rolling out in July, a brand new fleet of 11 Metro buses.
Good morning.
Drivers like Terry Furia are excited to get behind the wheel. Riders can use USB ports under the seat to charge their phones.
And also these buses will be equipped with Wi-Fi.
Denise Beck is the marketing director for Greater Portland Metro. Nationwide, less and less commuters are taking advantage of public transportation, but Maine could be the exception.
Ridership nationwide hasn't been high necessarily in the last year or two, but Greater Portland Metro has really seen a boost.
She says that's due in part to new lines to Brunswick and Freeport.
We've taken a lot of the routes that have been in place for decades and kind of really took a look at them and saying, okay, where's the ridership?
Starting in August, there will be new routes for riders in Westbrook, South Portland, and Gorham. A great resource for public transportation around the Portland area is the Transit app. It'll tell you all the bus routes and the time it'll take you to get where you want to go. It works anywhere you are and also includes ride sharing and ferry services. Next year, Metro is going digital too with its passes. You'll be able to pay for a ride with your phone.
My father was a bus driver and I was going to college, and it was like a part-time job.
Furia has been transporting people across southern Maine for 3 decades, an opportunity that's now open to job seekers.
We're hiring. We have recruitment going on right now, and it's a great place to work.
Now, the changes are happening statewide. Bangor will get $2 million in federal funding to update its fleet of the city buses.
All right, temperatures are dropping for some overnight.
But how is Mom's Day shaping up? Most importantly, your weekend forecast straight ahead.
If he doesn't like it, then I'll go home and I'll love my ex-boyfriend. What am I supposed to do?
She sent 65,000 text messages to an Arizona man she met on a dating site. When he rebuffed her advances for more than a year, police say she flew across the country, broke into his house, and hid in the bathtub, claiming to be his wife. This is a disturbing story that so many of you are talking about.
The accused stalker threatened to kill the victim and bathe in his blood. For the first time, she told our media partners in Phoenix why she believes she's met her soulmate.
Guys, this woman says she came from Florida to find love. Now, she claims the man she's accused of stalking is her soulmate because of her superstitious beliefs and a particular number.
Following the number 33, I used to wake up every day and every night at 3:33. It was always 3:33.
Jacqueline Claire Addis telling 12 News about her beliefs tied to the number 33.
So I kept following the number, and I said, why?
She claims that's what led her to a Paradise Valley businessman she met on the dating app Luxy.
Then I find out he does stuff for the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea has 33% salt in it.
The common ground between the two.
The same birthday.
Convincing her even more that he's her match.
Our brothers are both named Jacob and David. We're both vegetarians.
But police say the multimillionaire didn't feel the same way. He called authorities on her numerous times, including last month when cops found Addis trespassing inside his house, taking a bath.
I don't want to talk about that.
Court documents reveal she texted him 65,000 times.
That's it? Oh, to me, it seemed like more.
Many of those messages show disturbing delusions of murder and hate.
Would you admit that was scary stuff?
I don't want to talk about that.
But she admits he blocked her number.
I told him if he ever blocked me on WhatsApp that I would come and move here. So he blocked me, so I came here.
Investigators say Jacqueline showed up last week to the alleged victim's Scottsdale office, claiming to be his wife. She says she got a text message through a fake number, a number she thought was from her dream man.
I was like, please don't tell me that this is you sending me fake text messages because you want me to come over so you could call the police on me again. But I did it.
Should he be afraid of you?
No.
Did he ever warn you that he was going to call the police if you didn't stop texting?
No.
Now, in court documents, there is a box that's checked indicating that she's mentally disturbed. She's behind bars with no bond, and she's due back in court next Tuesday. Antonia Mejia, 12 News.
A few of you are saying it's clear she does not need jail time. She needs treatment for mental health. You can see her full interview on our website and mobile app.
If your home was damaged by flooding in the county, volunteers are in the area for the next week to help with cleanup and repairs. The Aroostook County Emergency Management Agency is organizing the group, so make sure you're listed with your town office. And all volunteers will have a badge like this one, so you know they are and who they claim to be. The Aroostook County EMA Facebook page listed a number of flooding repair resources if you need more help.
Keith, sounds like we're getting some cold wind headed
Yeah,
our
a little
way.
chilly tonight, and it's interesting because I mentioned the strawberry farmers. I had a guy email me, and it's a big deal for them if they have to try to cover all of their plants.
I was just at a strawberry farm yesterday.
Okay, and
Yeah.
so they're growing, and they can't really tolerate a frost. So we'll show you where these temperatures are going to be. It's going to be chilly. It's not unheard of for this to happen, but you like to try to get into mid-May without dealing with frost advisories. Temperatures right now still mild in the 60s, but of course the sun's still out in the 40s in the mountains and 50s in between Augusta and Waterville. Dew points, it's very dry in the air right now, and this is a little forecasting trick that works very well during the cold seasons in particular. You take the dew point, and with clear skies, that will be the temperature you can get down to. Now, I don't think we'll get to 19 in Rockland, but it gives you an idea how far we could fall tonight. Here's what I'm thinking: 39 in Portland, 34 in Augusta, 38 in Rockland, 32 in Bangor, and in the 20s, Berlin and into Rangeley. Could even be 19 tomorrow morning in Berlin. So cold enough for these frost advisories. As I mentioned, the reason you don't see them across northern Maine and the mountains is because their growing season has not begun officially. So therefore, it's kind of implied that there may be some frost. This is one of those deals where anything you can bring inside that's vulnerable, do that. Otherwise, there's not much you can do. All right, here's our next system. It's a warm front. It looked like it was going to be a big deal early in the week, like Saturday was going to be a washout, but it has trended farther and farther south. And as a result, Saturday is looking up for a lot of us, particularly over the northern half or so of the state. So here we are tomorrow morning. Some clouds moving into Portland and maybe into Brunswick and Freeport as well. Notice the showers, though, just barely touch York and Cumberland County through the day. So spatially, 85–90% of the state will be dry tomorrow, and there'll be more sunshine the farther north you get. Then this front lifts on out of here. Mother's Day itself looks good after some morning fog. Look for it to burn off. It'll be mostly sunny and temperatures in the 60s for Mother's Day, and then we roll that right forward into Monday as well. After that, we're going to warm up a little bit Monday and Tuesday, but Tuesday is going to be the warmest day with okay, I guess we're not going to see that graphic. We'll go back to it, whatever. There'll be the warmest day, and then we'll see a backdoor cold front coming through on Wednesday. That should cool us down for a day, but back to warmer conditions on Thursday and Friday. So Tuesday is the warmest day. Overall, a nice stretch of weather. Backdoor cold fronts are part of the game this time of the year, so that will knock us back into the 50s on that day, and probably a few showers around. But again, if you're looking at this on the whole, out of 7 days, most of us are going to get 1 day of showers. In May, in Maine, you will take that and you will walk away. You know?
Absolutely. I was just thinking too, so many restaurants that have outdoor seating in Maine, they've put out plants that look so pretty.
Right.
But it's almost like too soon because you just never know, and now you're gonna have to like just
Some
cover
of them take
them
it
tonight.
in anyways because people steal like their chairs and
good
stuff.
point.
So that's always that's a consideration. But yeah, and at least they're sitting outside now, so getting there.
Keith, thanks so much. A Maine Facebook page notorious for spreading false and inflammatory news stories has been taken down.
This is what Maine Police and Fire Alerts looks like right now. The page had nearly 37,000 followers. Its creator, Greg Powers, frequently posted police scanner traffic and fake news stories, most recently falsely claiming that a Maine lawmaker had died. Police, lawmakers, and hundreds of people on Facebook have tried to get the page taken down, but at the end of the day, what Greg Powers was doing was not illegal. We don't know who took the page down, whether it was Greg or Facebook, but those who have been reporting it for months are relieved and feel like the community is safer without it. Christina Rex reports.
Dan Gagnon owns a security agency. Protecting Mainers is his life's work, which is why he and a group of locals started the Facebook page Maine Police and Fire Alerts Exposed.
Our goal was definitely to try to get the page taken down.
Exposing the false reports of Gregory Powers and his popular page have been a side operation for Dan for the last year.
I'd say mission accomplished.
As of Thursday night, that controversial page is no longer.
I would say 90% of what's posted on there is false or largely exaggerated. And you know, like I said, it's a huge public safety concern as far as I'm concerned, to put myself and my officers at risk, as well as the law enforcement officers in the community at risk.
It's not clear who took down the page. A Facebook spokesperson says the company has been reviewing the page against its policies, but wouldn't answer if Facebook took the page down. We tried to talk to Gregory Powers to see if he deleted his page, but he wasn't home. This is what he told our cameras in January.
It's a hobby. I do it for fun and entertainment. It's not a professional page.
It was anything but fun and entertaining for State Representative Karen Garish when Powers falsely reported her death 2 weeks ago.
And everybody wish this on anybody.
Though hundreds of Mainers knew the information was false, its follower count only grew, even causing trouble for law enforcement during the 4-day manhunt for a suspected murderer.
Myself and others saw kind of the pot boiling, so to speak, and we could tell that eventually something bad was going to happen as a result of one of his posts.
State Police spokesperson Steve McCausland says Gregory Powers' posts have been a series of irresponsible fabrications, but the falsehoods he posted on the Norwich Walk manhunt and about Representative Garish were outrageous. Dan Gagnon is relieved the page is down, but worries about its creator.
I don't wish bad on anybody. I think that it seems to me like he's an individual that may need some help.
And a Facebook spokesperson told us she is looking into the specifics of this case and will let us know who took it down as soon as she can.
There's a lot more local news coming up on NewsCenter Maine at 5:30. Cindy Williams has a preview.
Hey guys, he will spend 55 years in prison, but Luke Tiemann still insists he did not kill his wife, Valerie. Today's sentencing decision coming up in the next half hour. And many who rely on medications know that drug prices just keep climbing and climbing, but now the president says he's going to do something to limit big pharma. Those stories and much more straight ahead at 5:30. Back to you.
Cindy, thanks so much. Brain drops when we come back.
All right, on Lindsay's request, I kept it light today. And so there's a hashtag bad stock photos of my job going around. So a lot of scientists jumped on this. So here's a guy, stethoscope to a brain. Because if you really want to understand your brain, you have to listen to it real close. Let's go to the next one. They have a lot of different like lab-related ones in there. This is nice because normally I think when you look at liquids, unidentified liquids, you do it in lingerie. I think that's just like a standard.
Sounds safe, right?
Yeah, I think it's better. It keeps your skin safe, so that's good.
Eye protection.
Yeah, her
hand
eyes are safe.
That's
the
good.
rest of her, not so much. Let's move on to the next one. I like this. I spend my days laughing at models of DNA that twist the wrong way.
That's funny.
Of course, something that only somebody who actually understood what they were talking about would have that going on. I'm not sure if we have another one. I think that we do, but we don't have any more. Okay, well, there's a lot of great ones on there. If you click this hashtag, of course, they go all the way across the board. The ones of meteorologists were pretty funny as well. So if you go on and check out your job, and you'll see all these stock photos of people pretending to do your job but having no idea what they're actually doing.
Keith is one of the stock photos. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I pretend every day and people buy it. What a joke.
Very good. Now we're doing that tonight. Hashtag bad stock photos of my job. NewsCenter Maine at 5:30 starts right now.